Hey everybody, welcome to your weekly forecast for Monday, July 25th through Sunday, July 31st. A very special shout out to my subscribers. Thank you so much for your continued support, for liking and sharing and commenting on my videos. It just helps so much that people who are return viewing, like even viewing this now for the second time, third time, whatever, coming back to my channel, please subscribe. It really helps keep my videos in circulation. Okay, so it helps my channel to grow and it helps me to continue to put these videos out. So if you would please take the time to subscribe to my channel right now and click on that little notification bell, and you'll be notified each time I upload something. Okay, so anyways, the major aspects for this week are: on Monday, July 25th, Venus in Cancer squares Jupiter in Aries. On Tuesday, July 26th, Mercury in Leo squares Mars in Taurus. On Thursday, July 28th, Mercury in Leo squares Uranus in Taurus. And on Sunday, July 31st, Mercury in Leo opposes Saturn in Aquarius. And also on this day, the Sun in Leo trines Jupiter in Aries. So, let's get to your weekly forecast. Okay, so for Cancer, on Monday, July 25th, Venus in your first house in Cancer squares Jupiter transiting in your 10th house of Aries. Okay, very nice transit. Okay, having Venus in your first house makes you, like, not really lazy, but you don't want to do anything that's too, you just want, you're avoiding anything unpleasant, okay? If it's too trying, you can't be bothered with it. And this is a square to Jupiter in your 10th house of your career. Okay, so having Jupiter in your 10th house usually brings about a promotion of some kind or other, or an elevated position in your personal life even, like status, like a status symbol or something. So something kind of prestigious could happen at this time. Just having Venus in your first house makes you very popular right now. So could be somebody with a lot of clout, or you know, whatever, could ask you, I don't know, to join them or attend something or other, you know. But yeah, you're pretty popular right now, so people are going to ask you to do stuff. Okay. On Tuesday, July 26th, Mercury in Leo in your second house squares Mars in Taurus in your 11th house. And on Thursday, July 28th, Mercury in Leo in your second house squares Uranus in Taurus in your 11th house. So, having Mercury in your second house of earned income, how you earn your money, your possessions, your investments, the things that you own that are valuable, and also your own personal values. But this is definitely a time, you know, with having Jupiter in your 10th house of your career and all these planets in, like, Leo in your second house. Obviously, this is pay raise, you know. You have Venus in your first house, making it a little bit easier to even, you know, get along with higher-ups or to ask for more money than you normally would, or better perks, or better this or that. Okay, so the square though from your second house of earned income and money, okay, to your 11th house of your friends, and it's like your most sociable house. It's where you would normally go to hang out. It's socializing in person, also online though, in social media, but it's any organization that you belong to. It's also the house of dreams, hopes, and wishes. Having Mars here does make you really want to go after a goal, a certain goal that you have. One of those dreams, hopes, or wishes, right? As always, they cost money. You know, pipe dreams even, or money. You know, even in your pipe dream, you're like wondering about money. Where am I going to get the money to do this or that? So this could be like one of those times, and you may discover, you know, or feel that you've been wasting time with this group of friends that you're with. You aren't like getting anywhere with them. I mean, they're not doing anything for you. They're not enhancing your personality in any way. They're not they're not even interesting, even though having the planet Uranus here should bring an awful lot of really off-the-wall and interesting people into your life. But that's good, you know, but you would like, let's say, some normal, boring even, standby, reliable friends that you can go to. You know what I mean? You're trying to get an even balance here, and it seems like that's what this is, you know. But anyways, you may decide not to do something with this group of friends. It could be a big event or something that you were all supposed to go to. It could be traveling together, some kind of trip together, or to see a live show, or to attend something or other that you've had to prepay. You have to prepay money, okay, in order, like to buy tickets and stuff, you know. So you just may decide not to do it. Or it could also be an organization that you belong to asking for money. Donation, dues, or even your time. They want your time. They want you to do something for the organization for free. Okay. On Sunday, July 31st, Mercury in your second house in Leo opposes Saturn in your eighth house of Aquarius. And on the same day, the Sun in Leo in your second house trines Jupiter in your 10th house of Aries. So your second and eighth houses are money houses, and having Saturn in your eighth house of other people's resources and money means that a lot of times when Saturn's here, the source of, let's say even a bank loan is very hard to get at this time. It's hard to get an increase in your credit, hard to get people to lend you money, you know. A lot of times, though, Saturn here is one of those planets of endings, okay? And this eighth house is the house of endings, such as death, okay? Death to a way of life, death to an idea or something, but it could actually be somewhere down the line literal, you know. And that's why this house is also the house of inheritances and legacies. But people don't always have to pass away in order for you to inherit. Okay, but there's something going on here, I would have to say, though, but it's involving your job, whatever you do for a living. Even if you're retired, there's still something going on there in your public life, having Jupiter in your 10th house, okay? So, you know, Mercury in your second house is just you, I think, checking into your accounts even, you know, how much do you have money in the bank? What is your balance? Same thing with your credit card statements. Eighth house is shared resources. Could be property even that you own with someone else. Maybe you're checking to make sure it's still there, you know, or what's going on with it, or whatever. But the very nice trine from your second house to your 10th to Jupiter it makes like a really good, I think maybe you might have to, let's say, negotiate for more money with a higher up or someone, or even, like I said, if you don't work at all, there's still something that you may have to negotiate that involves money, or some other kind of perk or something or other that you want. So you have to actually point out all kinds of stuff, let's say like on this day, as to why you're worth it. And I think that you would probably find that insulting, you know, because they should probably, if they're coming to you and discussing this with you, obviously you're worth it, or you wouldn't be in the running for this position, right? So, but it's almost like someone trying to double talk in a way, acting like they're doing something for you, as far as perks or money goes, but they're not really doing it. You know what I mean? They're kind of like covering their tracks or something, and trying to get you to agree to something. Like they're telling you anything just to get you to shut up or something, or not look into it any further. But I doubt if that will happen, right? You're going to point out to whomever that you're worth whatever it is you're asking for. Okay, so for Gemini, on Monday, July 25th, Venus in Cancer in your second house squares Jupiter, transiting in your 11th house of Aries. So these two planets together are a lot of fun, no matter what the aspect is. And having Venus in your second house does mean that you are attracting money. Second house is earned income and things that you own that are valuable. Okay, your investments, all kinds of stuff. You know what I mean? You could still be getting belated birthday gifts, even. Okay, so. Having Jupiter in your 11th house of your friends and acquaintances and organizations that you belong to. It's your most sociable house. It's socializing in person, getting out and mingling with your friends. Also social media, though. It just means that, when it comes to doing something like that, you will invest in, let's say, networking even. Okay, taking money from in your second house where you have Venus right now, right, and using it to get out there and like meet people that you need to meet, you feel you need to meet. Okay, for whatever reason. 11th house is also dreams, hopes, and wishes. So obviously you're trying to pursue something, and you need to find the right people to, let's say, help you. Okay. On Tuesday, July 26th. Mercury in Leo in your 3rd house squares Mars transiting in Taurus in your 12th house. And on Thursday, July 28th, Mercury in Leo in your 3rd house squares Uranus transiting in your 12th house of Taurus. So Mercury is, the natural ruler of the 3rd house, and it's your planet. It's your ruling planet, right? And Gemini does govern the 3rd house. Okay, so it's big communication and travel house. Okay, now the 12th house, where you have Uranus and Mars transiting right now, is the house of behind the scenes moves made by you or someone else. It's the house of secrets, many other things. It's the subconscious mind and dreams and all kinds of stuff. It is a house of like institutions of, let's say, confinement, like prisons or personal care homes or hospitals, things like that. It's the house of charity and stuff too. But with these squares, for Mercury, I'd have to say that you may be in conversation with someone right now. And this is in secret. You could find out, having Mars in your 12th house, I'm sure I mentioned this in your monthly forecast, sometimes brings about someone acting behind your back. Okay, when Mars is here, it's sometimes, you're working on something that you might like spring on the world or something whenever the sun and everything moves into your 1st house, right? Or when Mars moves into your 1st house. But a lot of times could also be someone working behind the scenes against you, okay? And it's usually, someone It's not a big secret. You may have already felt that, something or other was going on. So that's what's going on with this. This is communications that could be about, that you could find out that someone has been doing or saying things against you behind your back, or trying to turn people against you in a way. Or it's the other way around. You are the one that is trying to do this against someone else, okay? Could be someone new that came into your group of friends. Having that Jupiter in your 11th house of friends does bring new people into your life, but maybe this person just is like just swept right into the crowd there, and they're like pushing you aside or something, whatever. Okay, but this is this is conversations or maneuvers behind your back, or you're doing this behind someone else's back. Okay, on Sunday, July 31st, Mercury in Leo in your 3rd house opposes Saturn transiting in your 9th house of Aquarius, and on the same day, the Sun in your 3rd house in Leo trines Jupiter in your 11th house of Aries. Okay, so the 3rd and the 9th houses, they're communication and travel houses, okay? So I would have to say that Mercury, again, usually verbal, you know, any form of communication, but I have to say this is possibly a long-distance phone call. Could even be, okay, ninth house is foreign, could be someone who lives in another part of the world or just at a distance from you, okay? May not be exactly what you would like to hear, okay? Ninth house is legal matters, it's media and publishing, all kinds of stuff. But I would have to say that any kind of communication that you get at this time may be considered like not necessarily bad news, but not exactly what you wanted to hear. But at the same time, you have a trine from the Sun in Leo in your 3rd house to Jupiter in your 11th house on the very same day. So they kind of like even out. Okay, so any kind of communication that may not be exactly what you wanted still helps you in some way or other. Go towards your goal or whatever it is that you're trying to do with your group of friends or group or organization that you would like to be a part of. Whatever it is that you're trying to do to join them is working. You know, it may not be easy. In fact, you may have to, let's say, if it's an organization that you would like to belong to, you may have to have certain knowledge to belong to this group. You know what I mean? You have to have something in common. They could be very elite or something like that. So that's what this could be possibly, that maybe you don't cut it all the way, but after all, when it comes down to it, you actually do. Okay. So for Scorpio, on Monday, July 25th, Venus in Cancer in your, let's see, 9th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 6th house of Aries. So a very nice transit between these two planets that are always a lot of fun. Venus in your 9th house could be having a lot of long distance communications with anyone. With the square to Jupiter in your 6th house of the workplace, a lot of times though, you've got a new co-worker, somebody that comes into, or a new boss or something like that, that makes your job a lot easier. In fact, this person more or less becomes a friend of yours. And they could be from a completely different background than yours, okay? They could be from another part of the world even. On Tuesday, July 26th, Mercury in Leo in your 10th house squares Mars, transiting in Taurus in your 7th house. And on Thursday, July 28th, Mercury in Leo in your 10th house squares Uranus, transiting in your 7th house of Taurus. So your 10th house is your most public house. It's how you're known by reputation personally and professionally, but it is your career, your livelihood, but also your personal status. Okay, if you're retired or something like that, you're still known for something or other. Okay, 7th house is your partnerships, your close relationships. So there could be something going on here, just a square, okay, that maybe isn't working out. Let's say like if it's a business partnership, this would be the time where maybe your partner, because you having planets in your 10th house means that you're getting an awful lot of attention. Okay, not necessarily publicity unless that's what you were looking for, but it's the most public part of your chart, and when the Sun is here, people are noticing you. You know, so maybe your partner, business partner, doesn't really care for that. Maybe, in fact, they started the business and they're just bringing you on board, but you're getting most of the attention. Okay, now if this is a romantic partnership or even a friendship, again, somebody could just think that maybe you are, whatever it is that you're doing, it's public. So maybe they're wanting you to maybe hold back on doing certain things or saying certain things in public, especially when you are on social media or doing something where you're being viewed. You know what I mean? They could just be trying to get you not to do something, okay? On Sunday, July 31st, Mercury in Leo in your 10th house opposes Saturn in Aquarius in your 4th house. And on the same day, the Sun in Leo in your 10th house trines Jupiter in Aries in your 6th house. So your 4th house, where you have Saturn, is your home life, where you actually physically live, your family, or who you live with, roommate. Even if you live alone, it's still like your family. Okay, so it's your personal life. In your 10th house is your career and your most public life, right? So it could just be like, I don't know, if you were trying to get attention, somebody could be trying to dig up information on your personal life, something from your past. Your 4th house is also your past and your childhood. So there could be something about your past that I don't think is a secret, but maybe something that you don't think is newsworthy. It isn't like anybody's business. It is your personal life. So it could just be somebody just asking too many questions. It could even be a higher up, okay? Or if you're self-employed, a client or something that's just getting a little bit too familiar with you. It's rude. It's just rude. But on the same day, you have the Sun in your 10th house, okay, in Leo, trining Jupiter in your 6th house of Aries. Okay, we're back to the workplace again, and even the kind of work that you do. So you are able to smoothly, transition out of whatever the hell this first thing is. If somebody is sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, you're pretty charming about more or less telling them to kiss off, okay? So for Aries, on Monday, July 25th, Venus in Cancer in your 4th house squares Jupiter transiting in your 1st house of Aries. Okay, so Venus in your 4th house of your home, your family, where you actually physically live, just means that you're enjoying your home at this time. Maybe you are even spending money, I'll get to that in a minute, on things that you need for your home, or always just wanted, okay? These two planets together just bring about fun, no, they're not a bad thing. There's never bad aspects between Jupiter and Venus. They just make you go overboard in some way or other, or get a little lazy, that's all. On Tuesday, July 26th, Mercury in Leo, okay, in your 5th house, squares Mars, transiting in your 2nd house of Taurus. And on Thursday, July 28th, Mercury in Leo in your 5th house squares Uranus, transiting in Taurus in your 2nd house, okay? So the 5th house is the house of fun, pleasure, parties, gambling, sports of any kind, games of any kind. It's romance, creativity, your children, all kinds of just really lots of fun things. Okay, now the square to these planets in your 2nd house, Mars and Uranus in your 2nd house of Taurus right now, a money house. This is earned income, how you earn your money, your valuables, investments that you've made, or things that you own that are valuable. Having the planet Uranus here does bring about a lot of sudden occurrences, let's say, in this the money, the flow of money. Okay, you could work some kind of job that isn't steady. It's not that it's temporary, maybe it's just the kind of work that you do. It's not a 9-to-5 kind of job where you go to it every day. Having Mars in your 2nd house, though, it does bring about the desire, to at least create a second form of income, or to increase your current one in some way or other. You could gamble or speculate on yourself even right now, which isn't a bad thing. You just have to make sure that you don't spend too much. You have Jupiter in your 1st house, so it's making you very confident, okay? You could even be a little full of yourself when it comes to things like this, again, gambling, risks, taking risks. This isn't the time to do something like that, but unless you do it in a small way, okay? because you're still going to do whatever's going on in this fifth house of fun. You're still going to do it. It just you just have to decide how much money you're willing to dish out to do it. Okay. On Sunday, July 31st, Mercury in Leo in your 5th house opposes Saturn in Aquarius in your 11th house. And on the same day, the Sun in Leo in your 5th house trines Jupiter in your 1st house of Aries. So very, very nice here, actually. Your 11th house, where you have Saturn, is your house of your friends and acquaintances. Where you go to hang out. It's your most sociable house. It's social media. It's socializing in person, but also online. It's any organization that you belong to. And basically, it's like well, it's your dreams, hopes, and wishes, but it's more or less like your friends, okay? You have a friend here. It could be a new person that entered your group of friends since Saturn entered Aquarius a couple years ago, okay? And this person is like a real killjoy. It doesn't even have to be like your group of friends. If you do belong to an organization, same thing. There's always somebody there that just cuts down everything you want to do, finds fault with whatever you do. They are trying to block your every move, okay? Just to do it, probably. They see you as competition, okay? So this is one of those times where you're just like, that's it, you know, because you have like the Sun in your 5th house trining Jupiter in your 1st house, which is making you pretty powerful at this time. And just this opposition, you're not really, you're not going to really put up with anything that's happening, like with your group of friends, or again, an organization that you belong to that doesn't, you know, that you don't like, that you would never have done any other time. You know what I mean? It almost seems like someone is trying to get you to conform to the group, you know, something or other, and you're just rebelling, which is exactly what you should do.